Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so for today's video, I thought that it would be a really good idea for me to just sit down and have a talk with the girls. I haven't really done this kind of video before. Of course, I've done like get ready with me's and then like I've talked about stuff here and there. But for this video specifically, I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys kind of as if we were like on FaceTime. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I hope to like make more of these videos like in the future, because I don't know about y'all, but personally for me, like as a girl, like I love watching these kind of YouTube videos where my favorite creators would just sit down and talk like this and just give their advice about life and what they've been through and then what helps for them. And I feel like if I really enjoy that kind of content, that's the stuff that I want to put out, you know? I always like tell myself whatever content that I'm creating, I want it to be something that I would watch, you know, something that I would be interested in. So that's exactly what we're doing today, okay? So for today's topic, as you can tell by the title of the channel, it's basically just me telling you about how to be the highest version of yourself. Obviously, no one is perfect, especially not me. I feel like there's always room for growth, room for ways to become better, and nobody is perfect. Like even the most successful person still has room to grow and opportunities for growth. So don't take this in any way as in I have already got my life all together. I think that I am the highest version of myself. No, it's not. This is just what has helped me become confident and believe in myself, and has helped me with my self-assurance and has helped me just continue to grow. So my version of the highest version of yourself is actually not the person that has it all together, that is completely picture perfect, because truth be told, whoever you think that has their life all together, picture perfect relationship, everything, they're actually covering up a lot of lies and a lot of secrets that they have to put on a mask to cover everything, you know? So honestly, for me, the number one thing about being the highest version of yourself and being completely confident is to be authentic and to be genuine. Because people who try to be somebody else or follow these trends, follow how society wants you to be the best version of yourself, you're gonna get lost and you're not even gonna know what you want, what you desire. You're not even gonna know yourself. And that is actually the complete opposite of your goal. You wanna be the best, the highest version of yourself, not of somebody else, not the creator that you want to follow, of yourself. And I just feel like becoming the highest version of yourself is not to have it all together, but it's about the little small habits that you choose to wake up and do every single day. It's about the consistency of bettering yourself and wanting to be better for yourself, you know, for your growth, for your future. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was to be disciplined. So I feel like this is a very touchy kind of subject for a lot of people, because it's kind of, honestly, truth be told, like it's kind of a gray area, right? Everybody says be disciplined and expects you to wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym. But in reality, discipline is not just about waking up early and doing what society paints as being disciplined, right? For me, my definition of being disciplined is to do it for yourself. Being strict with yourself, but in the right ways, right? So for example, everybody always paints, if you go onto YouTube, morning routines at 6 a.m. Everybody paints it to be absolutely structured, this. But if it doesn't work for you, for example, if you work late, if you are not a morning person, do not force yourself to wake up at 6 a.m. because it's just not going to be accommodating for you. Every single person is different. Every single body is different. Every single person works in their own way. And so you just need to find what works for you and what you can follow. I just want to emphasize that society kind of has like painted like this routine and this standard of how you should be if you want to be the highest version of yourself. But that is just all, in my opinion, BS, because not everybody works like that. Not everybody works on that time. Everybody has different jobs, different lifestyles, different standards for themselves. Everybody works differently. Everybody's body and health is different. Like, there's no way that everybody can have the exact same routine every single day. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to tell you is you should find what works for you. Trial and error. Just keep on testing things out. That's what life is all about, right? Testing things out, see what doesn't work, see what does work, and whatever does work, be disciplined with yourself, be strict with yourself, and show up for yourself. Because sometimes, I'm gonna be real with you, there's some days that I don't even want to do stuff. So I know that there's some days that you don't want to do stuff, you know, but you have to show up for yourself, because discipline, honestly, is the highest form of self-love. Because if you're not gonna do it for yourself, how can you expect someone else to do something for you? If you don't even love yourself enough to take care of yourself, to be strict with yourself, to be disciplined with yourself, how do you expect that kind of form of love from someone else? Always remind yourself, if no one's gonna do it for me, I am gonna do it for me, you know? And I feel like that already right there is step one to building confidence, to building self-love, to building the foundation of success. Okay, and so then that like kind of brings me into like the next thing that I want to talk about. I feel like a lot of these videos about how to be the best version of yourself, they really do focus on being disciplined, being strict with yourself, but no one really talks about the opposite. I think it is just as important to be strict with yourself as it is to be lenient and to be gracious and to be forgiving for yourself. Nowadays, social media has painted this picture where you have to every single day wake up at 6 a.m., have your job, have your life figured out at 22 years old, at 23 years old. But that is not the case for most people, you know, especially in this economy, especially in this generation. A lot of us have to work really, really hard in order to even get slightly to the level of success that we desire. It's not as easy as social media has painted it to be, you know. This is literally a reminder that those standards, those expectations, those picture perfect things that everybody paints out to be on the internet, it's all fake. Okay, so I'm letting you know now, do not hold yourself to the little routine that you just watched on YouTube, the little routine that you just watched on TikTok, because like I said before, everybody is different. And if you cannot achieve that kind of lifestyle and that routine, please do not beat yourself up for it, because you need to find what works for you, not what you see other people do and then expect that it works for you. And nowadays with social media and being influenced and being inspired by a lot of these beautiful, like, picture perfect girls on the internet, it's very easy for us to like pick at ourselves and ask us, why don't we look like this? Why aren't we skinny like this? But you just have to remind yourself that that is not reality. In some cases, sure, there are really, really perfect girls out there that do have their life all together, but majority, that is not the case. And also with like being disciplined with yourself, for example, you set the standard for yourself. You want to start waking up earlier, right? So you told yourself you want to wake up at 6 a.m. every day and then go to the gym as soon as you wake up. You do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then on Thursday, you don't do it because you are just drained. You had a lot to do the day before. You're drained, you're tired. Your body is literally asking you to rest, to slow down. You need to listen to your body. Not every single day is going to be perfect. And you literally have to remind yourself that you are human. You are not a robot that runs at a function every single day, like on gear. So yeah, I feel like there is a big difference between showing up for yourself, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when you want to lay in bed instead, but you know that you should go to the gym. That compared to when you are literally mentally drained, physically drained, when you need to listen to your body and you're refusing to. Or when you know something doesn't work for you, but you continue to try to do it because that's the way the social media has painted the picture of, if you don't do this, you're not going to be the best version of yourself. Like, I just feel like that is just two completely different things, you know? Like, everybody works differently, so you need to find what works for you, follow that discipline, and showing up for yourself every single day and holding yourself accountable. Whatever doesn't work for you, don't do it. You're only hurting yourself and you're only setting yourself up to expectations and standards that are not meant for you, you know? So that leads me to my next point, which is social media. So On my very first YouTube video ever, I literally talked about why I was starting to make YouTube videos, and that was because I'm taking a break from TikTok and Instagram. I've been off of it about like since the middle of December, so it's been about a little over a month, you know, not too long, but I feel like it has been the best decision that I've made in a really long time. And let me tell you why. So whenever you are constantly overstimulated, constantly on social media, constantly scrolling, and you're constantly being fed all of these inspo influences on the internet, you literally get lost by all of the trends and all of the stuff that's being put on the internet that you don't even know what you want, who you are, what you desire. Because if you think about it, all these trends that people put out on social media and everybody follows it, are you doing it because you like to do it, or are you doing it because you've been influenced by somebody else feeding you that? And that's why I feel like everybody should take a break from social media, from being chronically online once, maybe twice a year, at least once in their life, so that you can actually know what you want and who you are. Because I feel like constant input from social media can literally drown out like your own feelings, your own intuition, your own mind. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, ever since I've been off of TikTok and Instagram and away from all the trends and stuff that is constantly being fed to me, I have learned a lot about my priorities, about my standards, about what I want, about what I actually enjoy doing. Don't get me wrong, I love TikTok, I love Instagram, I love all of that. And I do plan on coming back, you know, but this time around when I do come back, you know, I've learned a lot about being away from social media and really recognizing what really matters and how social media has literally blinded us all from the reality of the world. And I feel like that right there like says a lot. Sometimes, guys, I actually do think about a life without social media. Like for everyone, for every single person, I really wonder what it would be like if every single person just got off of social media, didn't have phones, we all had flip phones, we all were just living in the real world. You know what that would do for us? It would actually encourage real life interactions and real life catch-ups, real life hangouts. Because if you think about it, with social media, with easy and quick resources for us to constantly update our friends, whenever we see each other and when we finally see our friends in person, we kind of like nothing to catch up on, because as soon as a person tries to tell you something, you're like, oh yeah, like I seen that, like, because it's already been posted on social media. It literally restricts real life interactions by so many levels, you know. And I feel like that's like the beauty of life, to see your friends, to see your significant other and catch up and talk about things. And with social media, it's just kind of reduced that all in all. And something else that kind of rubs me the wrong way about social media is how much stuff that it normalizes, right? So for one, the whole shopping addiction, overspending your money, it's just so normalized in a way that is just not right, you know. And I feel like what should be normalized is spending your money appropriately to respect your future. And a lot of people do not talk about this, because what is put on social media is spending addictions that are constantly influencing you to buy this, buy that. And I'm telling you, ever since I got off TikTok and Instagram, I have saved so much money because the influences just stopped. This is the real world that I'm living in, and you don't get influenced every single minute of every single day to buy something. The reason why you're so easy to buy something on social media is because that's their job, to influence you to buy something so that they can make money. And it's just a constant cycle of spending, you consume. But as cheesy as it sounds, I feel like the real art in life is to create more than you consume, you know. But social media has actually like made it the complete opposite. And I just feel like the whole normalization of spending all of your money at a very young age is just kind of not really the right way to do it. And don't get me wrong, I know that there's stuff that we buy nowadays that's just so advanced and so updated that it truly is an investment. But you really do have to sit down with yourself and ask before you purchase something, is this a reward for my future, or does it just feel good right now? Instant gratification and instant satisfaction is not helping your future at all. Matter of fact, delayed gratification and delayed satisfaction is looking out for your future, because it's kind of like you have to give up something in your current life so that you can reap the benefits in the future. Not everything that is enjoyable in the moment is going to be beneficial long term. And I feel like if we all just focused on spending intentionally and spending appropriately, like it would benefit our future so much. Especially in this economy, you guys, we really do have to work our best to beat the system, because it is just outrageous nowadays, and rent is just gonna keep going up. Gas prices are just gonna keep on going up. Grocery, clothes, prices, everything is just gonna keep on going up with inflation, you know? We all just have to be very mindful about following these trends. And you just really have to ask yourself, do you really want this, or are you just following a trend? Another thing that I really think has helped me like focus on becoming the highest version of myself is finding what brings me peace. Ever since I got off social media, I have been really zoning in on what brings me peace and what actually makes me happy. And just some of those things is drinking warm tea at nighttime while I'm winding down in bed, journaling, praying to God, cooking alone, being in my apartment alone. These are just like small things that I've recognized that has brought me peace. And for you, you need to figure out what in your life brings you peace, whether that be taking a walk every single day, cooking, baking. You need to find what brings you peace, and you need to make it non-negotiable. You need to make it a priority to do that every single day so that you have a moment in your day where you are grounded, where you are calm, where you are at tranquility. Now with this world, it's so full of chaos, so full of craziness that if you don't take time and show up for yourself and ground yourself, you're going to get lost in the sauce, sister. I feel like every single time that you calm yourself like that and you ground yourself, you actually encourage your emotional stability, your decision making, your confidence, how your mind works, like just kind of rewires and resets all of this. Just as important it is to, you know, show up for yourself and to do these things and stay productive and stay busy, it is equally as important to calm yourself, ground yourself, and take a moment to debrief, to wind down. And I feel like everybody should find something that brings them peace and make sure that they fit it into their routine. And I feel like a lot of those things that helped me like ground myself and find like peace, I did it alone. And that brings me to my next topic, is the art of being alone. I feel like there is so much value and so much you can gain out of being alone and learning to be alone and learning the benefits of being alone. Coming from a person that a long time ago, I actually hated being alone. I never even knew how to be alone. I was scared to be alone. After I learned how to be alone, and it's kind of just by forcing myself to be alone and forcing myself to recognize that the only person that is going to be there for you for the rest of your life, constantly 24/7, 365 days of the year, every single minute, every single second, is yourself. Of course, there's gonna be constant companions and constant friends and your family like always there for you. Like, of course, you know, that's about having your community. But like basically like what I'm trying to say is, of course you can have these people, of course you can have your friends and family, but at the end of the day, if they're not there, you are still there for yourself. And you have to learn how to use that to your own advantage. Whenever I was alone, to avoid like the eerie feeling of being lonely, I would put on a show, I would play some music, or I would do stuff that actually brought me peace rather than continue to enhance my anxiety. And another big thing that has really helped me with being more grounded and more calm with myself is praying to God. I feel like it's very important for me to preach about my religion, about my faith, because God has helped me so much in my life as I've learned independency and being alone and growing throughout my 20s. And honestly, I would not have been able to do nearly half of the things that I did without him. I just kind of want to encourage you to find a relationship with God and find what works for you with religion, you know, whether that be going to church every Sunday or just sitting at home talking to God and praying to God quietly in your own room. You know, like everybody can start their religion off differently. I've always been a believer in God and, you know, the Lord, but ever since I've strengthened my relationship with him and been very proactive about building my faith and building my belief in Jesus, I feel like a relief almost. Like everything, all of the weight and all of the anxiety about my future, the past stuff that's happened to me that I was sad about, things that ended that I didn't want to end, closed doors that I didn't want them to close, like all that anxiety, all of those worries and the sadness that I carried on with those times, like I feel relieved. I feel like it's off of my back. I feel like God has truly removed all of that kind of negative feelings from me, and that is exactly why I just encourage you to talk to him and see what works for you with religion, because I'm not here to preach church, like you have to do this, you have to go to church every Sunday, you have to read your Bible, because I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what is the right way to practice your religion. I'm just encouraging you to maybe find a relationship with God, because it has helped me, and I'm just telling you what has helped me. And also, I feel like ever since like I've been, you know, more in touch with my religion and in touch with my faith, I feel like I've become more of a positive person. Don't get me wrong, trust me. I still have negative thoughts sometimes, and I still react to things negatively. Like that's human nature. But I do feel that ever since I have prayed more and gone to church more and just been more closer with God and my faith, I have been, you know, switching my perspective on things and just realizing, like, is it really worth my time? Is it really worth to be upset about that? Is it really worth, you know, proving myself? And I feel like nowadays, like, it's very easy to be negative. It's very easy to think about like what could go wrong. But whenever you're positive and whenever you change your perspective on things, it literally changes your life. I cannot emphasize this enough. Changing my perspective on things has truly altered the way that I have gone through life, because I just kind of think about it as like, if you're going through life constantly thinking about the negative, constantly thinking about what is going to go wrong, you're literally creating your own reality. But if you're going through life constantly thinking about the positive, constantly thinking about what could go right, you're literally manifesting those things to happen in your life. I'm a strong believer in what you put out in this world, that is what you're going to get back. And if you put out positive energy, this magnetizing energy, you're gonna get that same thing back. And I literally read this quote that the most successful people believe in themselves so much to the point of delusion, right? So they believe in themselves so much to the point of delusion, which means that they set themselves up to this goal that everybody thought it's damn near impossible, but they believed in themselves so much that they just accomplished it. And it's kind of like that like cheesy quote, the sky's the limit. Like if you limit yourself to here, to this level, to make only 60,000 a year, once you reach there, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. But if you put yourself higher, if you put yourself up to a higher standard, to 100,000 a year, you're gonna work yourself until you get there. You know what I'm saying? You have to just change your perspective on things and just be positive about your growth, about your success, about your future, and just constantly think about what could go right. And also something that really does help is starting small. Every time that you mess up or something that doesn't go right in your day, as soon as you feel yourself reacting negatively, just take a second and rewire and rethink and change your perspective about what makes it positive. Even if it's the worst thing ever, what about it is positive? You know, for me personally, every time something goes wrong for me, I just think God did that because he just avoided me from something worse. Or if I'm late or something, that's just divine timing. It's just kind of those small things that really help you overall become a more positive person. And I hope that everybody watching this video got something out of it today, and I hope that we're all collectively working on bettering ourselves and growing and constantly looking for those opportunities of growth, because becoming the highest version of yourself doesn't stop today or tomorrow or this year or next year. It is a constant process, and you can always find something in yourself to be better at and grow. And I feel like that right there, once you realize that you have unlimited potential, you're unstoppable, girl. You already reached the highest version of yourself. Constantly just remember that literally the sky is the limit, and you can achieve anything that you put your mind to, and you only have one life. So use it and cherish it and be thankful and be grateful for everything that you have in your life, and just constantly put yourself up to a high standard and just know your worth. As cheesy as it sounds, you have to remember what you are worth and the blessing that you have, which is life. We all have one life. You are here, I am here, and we all just have to make it the best life that we ever had. But okay guys, that's gonna wrap up my video today. I hope that everybody got something out of it. I hope that everybody took this video the right way, because I do not mean to offend anybody. I hope that everybody took it the way that I want y'all to take it. And I just hope that everybody is growing every single day and wanting to achieve their best version of themselves. Let me know if y'all like these kind of videos where I just sit down and talk and stuff, because I sure did, because I got to talk a lot. And I love just chit-chatting, and I love little chatty videos. But yeah, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!